Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Thomas Battles with your host, Mr. MPS 2002. Battling today will be Hero the Japanese Train, TEHGJPTDDDO, and Soda Railway 3D Films. Now, on to the battle. Hello there everybody, Mr. MPS 2002 here, and welcome back to episode 3 of Thomas Battles, here on Thomas Railway Community Radio. Obviously, like I said before, I'm your host, Mr. MPS 2002, and today we have three very esteemed battlers with us today. First of all, we have Hiro the Japanese Train.
Hi guys, I'm Paul.
He's also a member of TWRC Community Radio, and he makes a series called Matt's Merchandise. We also have Soda Railway 3D Films.
Hi guys, I like mac and cheese.
And last of all, we have TEHGJPTDDDO.
Who's that?
Never
heard of him.
I don't know.
That's you, idiot.
That guy's a nerd.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Uploading experimental videos.
Today's going to be a very special Thomas battle, because actually next week is going to be the championship Thomas battle. So whoever wins this week's battle will go up against Eric Pear 53 and Train King James, who have won the first and second installments of Thomas battles in the championship installment. And whoever wins that will be the true champion of Thomas battles. So with that all out of the way, I'm going to try and make this a shorter episode, because the last one was about an hour long, and ain't nobody got time for that. So with that said, let's start this frickin' Thomas battle. Yeah!
Let them fight.
Yes, let them fight. Alright, on to topic number 1.
I'm so cold.
Drugs.
Shut up. Which Thomas film is better? The Adventure Begins or Tale of the Brave? I'm gonna start with Matt on this one. Here, the Japanese Train. Which one do you think is better? The Adventure Begins or Tale of the Brave?
Alright, I gotta say it. It's hands down The Adventure Begins.
Alright, okay, yeah. I'm just gonna ask everybody else their top picks first. Okay. Tej, cool. Which is better? Tale of the Brave or The Adventure Begins?
The Adventure Begins.
Alright. Matt, that's what you said too, right?
Yeah.
Alright, Dylan, which one is better?
Well, I'm sort of split down the middle, but I'd have to say The Adventure Begins by 5 points more, maybe.
Well, this is certainly
a very fierce competition.
Well, this is certainly going to be an exciting battle. Who wants to play devil's advocate? Because if you play devil's advocate and play against your own opinion, then if you win, you get double points.
Woo!
Who wants to play that?
I personally like my opinion, so yeah, I don't dislike it. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to stay with it.
If Dylan doesn't do it, then I'll do it.
I was just gonna say stuff about how the Tale of the Brave has its own high points. And do you want me to talk about that?
You seem to be playing devil's advocate here.
All right, so Dylan, you'll be playing devil's advocate, and if you win, this, you'll get double points.
Oh, swag.
Yeah, Dylan.
Swag money, make it rain.
All right. Anyways, so Matt, start off. Tell us why The Adventure Begins is better than Tale of the Brave.
All right. Well,
can we start off by saying both of these are very good movies?
They are.
Damn straight.
Like, we're not saying these are bad movies. We're just saying which one's better. All right. Anyways, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for one thing, what The Adventure Begins has that, I almost said Misty on Rescue. What Tale of the Brave doesn't have is the history. It's an entertaining, thrilling, refreshing, and nostalgic look back on the origins of Thomas, really, and of Audrey's original stories. And to be honest, Tale of the Brave is just underwhelming. The story was bland, and it's really your typical Percy isn't understood special. Not to mention the music.
All right, starting off strong. I'm just preparing for the hate in the comments down below. Anyways, Tej.
The reason why I chose The Adventure Begins is well, first of all, I'm going to say that many people don't like this film because they're being, sort of nitpicky because Henry's in his old style and, stuff like that. In my opinion, I feel that doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but it doesn't destroy the quality of the movie itself. The movie's great, the music's great, pretty much everything's great, and the thing I really like about it is that the story's tied together better than they actually did in season 1, because you have a part of Thomas and the Breakdown Train kind of halfway in between Thomas and Gordon and Thomas's train, and I like that because it flows way better in my opinion. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that, but yeah.
All right, Dylan, which one is why is The Adventure Begins not as good as Tale of the Brave?
I'm supposed to. Okay, well, I'm sort of split down the middle on either one because Tale of the Brave has its own high points, such as Gator himself, all the very good dialogue that they've built up, the characters themselves, except maybe Timothy, because we didn't see much of him until season 18. Yeah. But and then The Adventure Begins is such a good story. It flows so well. I mean, despite nitpicks like Henry in his old shape or Thomas in the wrong livery, but James being black, and
Shut up.
all the stories just seem to flow together so easily. Like Edward and Gordon being first, just like the Railway series had it, and Thomas and the Breakdown Train being having that scene with Thomas following James. It was a defining moment for his character, right? If he hadn't have seen it, I don't think the special would have had as much hype as it did. Besides, we did get to see the awesome crash that was.
All right, so Dylan's out since he didn't argue that Tale of the Brave was better. He just said.
And he also made a racist comment.
Yes. So Dylan's out.
Sorry, James.
So Matt and Tej, the two of you like argue against each other and tell me. And you see, if you can make the better argument as to why The Adventure Begins is better, then you'll get the points. So just argue against each other. I'll give you each one shot to make your argument. So Matt, you go first.
I must have not understood my role.
Well, personally, I think what most people seem to forget about The Adventure Begins is that it isn't the Railway series, but it's the best thing that we've had since the classic series. I mean, for one thing, we have classic series music, which is fantastic, but also we have just all this classic series elements that are clashing, or not even clashing, they're going hand in hand with the stuff that we've been having for the past 10 years or so. And I personally believe that this puts Thomas at its zenith. I've never seen Thomas so good.
Okay, Tej.
Matt mentioned this briefly, is that the Railway series is not the TV series. And we can clearly see that with, Henry's Forest, Rusty to the Rescue, stuff like that. Especially Wonky was, so I doubt that Reverend W. Audrey or Christopher Audrey would ever write anything like that. But I feel that this is possibly the highlight of the TV show so far. Up there with seasons 2, 4, 3, 1, all those classic series, even season 5 and a bunch of those. I think it's a really good return to roots. It shows that not only do the writers respect the source material, but they also go out for the fans, and they decide that the fans are the people who are causing the show to be so successful. And that is why I love The Adventure Begins. Not only because it's great, but also because of the statement that it brings.
All right, I'm going to go with Matt on this one. For what reason? He used the word zenith. And that was a great word. All right, so Matt wins round 1, and he gets a point. Good for you, Matt.
Good job, Matt.
Yay.
Right, that was a nice clean round there, guys. All right, time for round 2, and this one, I think, Matt, you should enjoy this one, which is, should the World War II movie be made? And Matt, I think we all know your opinion on this one. So let's go to shut up. Let's go to Tej first. Should the World War II movie be made?
No.
Ooh. All right.
Ooh.
Dylan.
Dylan is here, yes, but I think no, the World War II movie should not be made.
All right, Matt, and I think we all know your opinion on this, which is?
Yes.
Yes, of course it is.
Ooh, Matt playing hardball.
All right, Dylan, I want you to give your opinion first as to why you think it should be made.
Okay, MPS. Okay, I think the World War II movie should not be made. Well, first of all, I was kind of hyped up for it. I thought, it could work. I mean, it's World War II. We've never seen a concept like this done before. But it was in an era where Misty Island Rescue was just so prominent still. But I think the World War II movie should not be made because I feel it's going to be a Thomas and the Magic Railroad clone. Because we have the CGI. They were talking about the CGI and having live-action humans, which Thomas and the Magic Railroad had. They're going to have a father-son relationship, a bonding experience, which Thomas and the Magic Railroad kind of had, I guess, with Lily and Burnett. And there's going to be a steam and diesel rivalry. There was one in Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Diesel 10, and the other steam engines and just splatter and douche.
Splatter and
Doge.
douche.
Douche. And I don't think it would have been. I think some people would have liked it and stuff, but I don't think it would have been much an improvement over what we were doing. And the rating at the time, the rating wouldn't have seemed very good. Like, it would have been pretty bad.
All right, Tej.
First off, The Adventures of Thomas, which is the title of the movie.
Yeah.
This was first announced to be released in late 2010. It is, like, when you'll upload this, it'll be April of 2015. That's a large difference. And so not only will that be a factor, but also I feel that, as Nostalgia Critic said, regarding the performance of some of the actors and, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, I feel that putting Thomas and World War II together is just a little weird. No offense, I know that it can work. People have done Dark Thomas before in the community, and it's worked great. But when you put Thomas and Thomas attached to anything, then children will obviously come to see it. And by putting World War II attached to that, I don't necessarily think that's the right thing to do. I also find that the movie is a little bit cheesy. No offense, I just find it's a little bit cheesy. Because there is a bonding experience. And I know there's usually great bonding experiences, but first of all, his father doesn't remember the place. The son is introduced to the world of Sodor, and who knows what a kid who's introduced to talking trains will think. But it's all over the place, in my opinion. You can disagree with me, Matt, you can do that, but I honestly don't think that this movie should have gone forward, and I'm actually happy it didn't.
All right, well, I can almost hear Matt just stewing in anger over there. So, Matt, go ahead and go off on us. Tell us why it should be made.
All right, well, I'm going to give, a shout-out to the history of Sodor, because
oh, boy,
the
here we
only
go.
reason
All
we
right.
have this I'm not going to go, I'm not Ted, I'm not going to go on a rant.
Self-promotion over here.
Wait, what? No, I'm just...
What are you talking about?
Keep going, I don't know.
The actual history of Sodor.
Okay,
The island was formed because of war. World War I. And World War II.
Yeah.
It would only make sense that Thomas and actual history would go hand in hand, because without the actual history, real life events, World War II, this in particular was actually supposed to be the Blitzkrieg, and not the Blitzkrieg, the Blitz on London, which is where a lot of these engines come from. And believe me, steam in Britain was severely affected by the war, which would make sense that Sodor would have their engines affected by the bombings and stuff. But the realism of the engines and the mature perspective of Thomas, which was supposed to be, it's not supposed to be what the Reverend would have written, but it's a mature perspective, and that's the whole point. And I know that Taj said that children wouldn't want to see this. It's not supposed to be for, toddlers. It was actually meant to be for a more mature audience, which I kind of respect.
Yeah,
because it was going to be given to the hands of people like WETA. It wasn't supposed to be written by Sharon and Company. It was supposed to be almost separate but equal. God, I can't believe I just said that. But yes, it is in that regard its own thing. And are you going to deny the creative imbalance?
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost fell asleep during your history of Sodor there.
Can I say something else? Two major things. First of all, remember what happened to Thomas and the Magic Railroad and the test audiences? They tear apart a Thomas movie involved with the Blitz. They tear apart that. And I know it's aimed at an older audience, but still it's attached to the Thomas franchise. It has the Thomas name in it. And so, there's a possibility of children going to see this. And
now you're correlating, I believe that you're almost giving yourself an injustice by correlating the World War II movie with Thomas and the Magic Railroad. These are two very different movies that you're talking about.
I know, but history has a tendency of repeating itself. Dark Thomas, such as P.T. Boomer and Diesel 10's old voice and all that, doesn't necessarily fare well with, test audiences. And the second thing is that,
those characters are actually right up in your face from the beginning. The Blitz, it's almost a mood. It's more of a dark mood rather than anything else. Thomas and the Magic Railroad is just, here's some evil villains, blah, they're coming to get you, Thomas. But the World War II movie, it's supposed to be the mood. The Blitz, it made a bunch of people homeless. People moved out into the countryside in Britain. And it only makes sense that some people would lose touch. It's setting itself up for the story that it's trying to create here. It's not the story, as in Thomas and the Magic Railroad, where the evil villains are in your face all the time, where Diesel 10's big scary face is almost always on the screen, and big old Pinchy,
Yeah.
It's the mood.
I doubt Hitler's going to be in the movie.
Interesting concept there.
But one last thing I'm going to mention is that, once again, I feel that that overall, I can't make a statement on the movie overall. We've barely seen anything. The trailer just came out, and I mean, it was not even an official release.
It was a teaser.
It was like 12 seconds of, here's Thomas, woohoo, yeah.
It was 12 seconds of Thomas's side.
Yeah, I mean,
Thomas's side. Ooh, Adventures of Thomas. Haha, look.
Yeah, and so what I'm trying to say is,
would that not have been cool to have seen? The engines were supposed to be based off of the real counterparts. I mean,
that would have been cool.
That would have been cool to see. But the reason why I canceled my World War II series is because it would have been a little bit too inconsistent.
All right. I've made my decision. I'm gonna give the point again to Matt here, just because he was so passionate about his points and how in depth he went about the World War II and stuff like that. So, anyways, good clean round again. Matt, you cinched it again, man.
Good job, Matt.
Well, that was good. That was intense, man. But now let's move on to something a little bit more fun here.
Yeah.
Round 3, which is the worst 2015 Thomas Wooden Railway item?
I thought it was best.
Yeah, it's his best in the chat.
Does it really?
It's his best.
All right.
Well, it's hands down the bubble loader.
Yes, so maybe, let's change that to best then. All right, yeah, that's right. I messed it up. I changed it before we did this because everybody was just going to say bubble loader. So, all right, let's...
Or Volcano Park Place.
All right, crapola. All right, forget that. What is the best 2015 Thomas Wooden Railway item? Who hasn't started yet?
Me.
All right, Taj, you start.
Introducing James.
Okay, Matt?
Thomas Engine gift pack.
Okay, Dylan?
I was gonna say Thomas Engine gift pack also.
Okay, so do you two want to team up on this one, or do you want to argue it separately? Because if you team up, both of you will win points. But if you just argue it separately, only one of you will win points if the Thomas gift pack wins.
I think we should team up.
All right.
All right, so Matt and Dylan are teaming up on this one. So if you if you guys win, then both of you will get points.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Just Taj, since you're the alone one on this one. Why is introducing James the best 2015 item?
When people saw this, it just caused such a fan reaction. Let me just say that. And if it gets that large of a fan reaction, most likely there's a good reason to it. And introducing James, that was what I'm talking about.
Wow, what a stunning argument! It's introducing James, man.
Well, I'm not done yet, but okay. It shows that people who are making this are interested in representing Sodor's past. That's why I chose The Adventure Begins, because it represents Sodor's past so well. But introducing James, the style, everything that goes into this, it just reeks classicness and brings back so much nostalgia of when you read the Railway series for the first time. You can finally have the first time you saw James. The first time you saw James was either in the TV series or in the Railway series. For me, it was actually in the Railway series, and so this is actually very personal for me. it was the start of where Thomas got his branch line, he got his coaches. It was very much the start of what we now know as the Thomas franchise. Thomas gets his branch line, etc., etc. It's stuff like that that really brings back memories of the times when you watched it on TV or read the book. And I feel that for the pure nostalgia, model aside, I feel that introducing James is just reeks nostalgia and has a special place in my heart, even though I'm not into Thomas One Railway. But, yeah.
All right, Matt and Dylan, which one of you wants to start first?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rip this James a new one.
Okay, let's let Matt start.
Yeah, sure.
He obviously has 16 pages of notes.
Yeah.
He's got a stack of papers and a pen.
Well, I'm just going to say this. The introducing James is very easy to make. Just take a James, slap some black paint on them, sell them in the stores because he was in The Adventure Begins. I know there's a whole nostalgia crap, but it was just a marketing tool that they could pull off in about 5 seconds. And they knew it. That's why we don't have an LBSC Thomas, because they require more effort. Anyway, for the Thomas Engine gift pack, it is even more nostalgic for me than, say, any introducing James. Because, I mean, this is more of The Adventure Begins type of item, this James, but this Thomas gift pack is a Thomas item that's not only attracting people from the TWR world, but people from outside the TWR world. People outside our community are rushing to the stores to buy this item, which we never ever see. I mean, people who don't collect TWR are throwing these things at themselves. They're buying them by the boatloads. And it's this Thomas that comes with it. Thomas 1942. It's just, it's nothing I would have ever dreamed of to have ever seen in the Thomas Wooden Railway. When I was younger and I first saw the model, the picture of it, I thought to myself, boy, wouldn't that have been great as a wooden railway model? And now it's finally come true. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that thought this. And it's perfect for the 70th anniversary. It's perfect for the history of Thomas. It's perfect because it's an item that everybody can relate with. I mean, yeah, a black James is nice. And introducing James is nice. It was in The Adventure Begins. But what else does it represent? The history of James? Well, James is only one character. Thomas is Thomas. It's Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. And the fact that we have this Thomas engine pack with Thomas's original, prototype, you could say, with his original look, with the look that Audrey created. The fact that is put into this Thomas Engine gift pack, I believe it's greater than any introducing James will ever be.
All right, well.
Okay, you win.
Yeah, let's just give that one to Matt. Holy Jesus!
Wow,
that was. Oh,
wow,
all right, but Dylan also gets the point there because, like I said, smart move there, Dylan, to tag teaming up with Matt. Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, could you please Could you please give me bigger notes? Okay, thanks, Matt.
Oh my goodness, this has been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next one. I think this should also provide some an interesting experience here. Who is the most underrated television series character?
No, wait. Does this mean like characters who are introduced in the TV series?
Yes.
Only. Okay,
not
just
the railway series.
Just clean that up.
Yeah,
I want to make
that
sure I
would
have these.
technically be railway series.
It could be anybody from Derek to Glenn.
All right.
Ooh, dear.
All right. Anyways, okay. So, I don't want to let Taj start first again.
Because I'm failing. Just kidding. But yeah, I decided to choose Victor because he came. Oh yeah, never mind. I completely forgot.
Okay. Dylan.
Dylan. Okay. Well, I'm a little. I have to admit, Derek. Is one of my favorites. I really like the class and stuff, but I'm going to say a lot of the season 9 characters had a lot of potential. And I'm gonna probably have to go with either like Molly or Derek because Molly.
Pick one.
It looked Molly because they had a lot build up for. Like she was in a lot more episodes than say Dennis or Neville. And then, like, it seems like they were trying to add her to the series, but something just never took off after Molly's special. But then, like, they could have done something. I mean, the class of the engine, her model was beautifully detailed. I mean, they had hard work put into this model for, like, originally 5 minutes of screen time, but it seemed like they were trying to do something with her, and that they could have built her up. They could have made her into a well-known character that a lot of people maybe could have liked, but no, they kind of just dumped her off on the side with Dennis and Neville.
Okay, Matt.
All right, my character is Winston.
Okay.
Winston.
All right, so we just starting off with reasons now.
Yes, Matt. I'll let you go first.
All right.
You're on a roll.
I mean, the merit behind Winston that he's not really given credit for is that he's essentially Sir Tom Hatt's car now.
Is that it?
And
is that
seeing how he's
seriously
almost
your
always
entire
seen-
argument?
Honestly,
Oh God, no! Do you want to
Well, I
see all the
ripped up
bullet
his
points that
notes.
I've got for Winston in particular?
No.
He's almost always seen with Sir Tom Hatt nowadays. He's got close proximity to the main engines, but is very easily forgotten. He's served an important role now since his introduction, and he's actually proven to be an important plot point, not only in Blue Mountain Mystery, but in some of the later episodes. But one thing about Winston that makes him so underrated is the fact that he's just kind of blown off as Sir Tom Hatt's car, his inspection car. But really, Winston is Sir Tom Hatt's companion now. He's almost like...
Family.
He sees eye to eye with Sir Tom Hatt. He's more like his caregiver. And I just see this charm that comes from Winston because he's got to deal with Sir Tom Hatt on a daily basis. And I feel like in our lives, we each have something that we can relate with Winston on this. But people always very easily forget Winston because he kind of came in at a bad time. He came in Blue Mountain Mystery, and Blue Mountain Mystery wasn't that popular, and as popular as some of the other specials.
Well, at the time it was, but...
yeah.
All right. Anyways, Dylan, tell me a little bit more about your thing.
Okay, well, as I said before, I was talking about how Molly was built up a lot and stuff. Well, in the same fact of how in stuff, yes, I'm very good plot points and other things.
Get on with it!
Get on
Yes!
with it.
Okay, well, I thought that they probably wrote a lot of personality for her, but because of the writing style at the time, there wasn't a lot of room for improvement. They could have done something with her. They could have given her a specific job to do, like one episode she was tall and rocky. They could have made her the works engine. You never know. They could have done something, but in the crap era that it was, we didn't get it. I mean, they could have done something, but nothing happened. There was a lot of development they could have done with any of the characters, not just Molly. But in Molly's sense, she had a lot to do. She was interacting with other engines. She had screen time, a lot more than like Neville or the other ones. But I don't know. She was built up a lot, but she was underused. Had a lot of potential for this.
Okay. Taj.
The reason why I chose Victor is because when engines break down, they come to Victor, and he's like their best friends, pretty much.
Let me tell you about best friend. Sorry. Go ahead.
10 points to FPS. 10 points to FPS.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is that he always is there for all the engines who are in need. He's always there. He's always ready. He's always prepared to do the work. And, Kevin's, usually gets, more of the rave because he's, the comic relief. But personally, I think Victor is the most working class engine that's in the series. He has appeared in 33 episodes. That's more than Boko, Daisy, and Stepney combined.
Did you seriously count?
Yes.
Jesus.
But, sure, they're from, the Sharon Miller era, and that was terrible. But, honestly, I think Victor is possibly one of the best alongside Hiro, despite, the chronological order, stuff like that. Despite that, I think him and Victor are possibly two of the best characters to come out of that era.
Pick one.
The reason why I chose Victor, despite Molly and Derek, or something like that, is because Molly and Derek didn't appear that much. They appeared like, as you mentioned, they had so much potential. Yeah, they had so much potential, and yet they didn't use them. Victor, he's already there. He's been in so many episodes, and yet people don't give him his due. Winston is kind of along that same line. Let me just say that. But Victor, he's appeared like in a lot of the episodes that Victor's appeared in is even before. Yeah, sure. After I'm done.
I want to say that Victor's overrated.
Oh,
come on, man. That's a low blow.
You just burned a hole in Tasha's side.
I mean, it's my own personal opinion. I've thought it since season 13.
Yeah, because whenever you ask somebody who's your favorite character, they definitely immediately go to say Victor. Yeah.
Or Winston.
Like Rosie or something.
All right.
Oh no, I've probably offended someone else. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna go. I've decided my argument. My winner. I'm gonna give it to Taj.
All right.
Just because that one was very intense, and I like how your points about how even though he came out of the Sharon Miller era, he's still a good character, and I agree with that. And I like how Blue Mountain Mystery developed him a little bit more. Personal opinion, I like Winston a little bit more, but Taj just made the better argument. So yay, props to Taj.
Yeah, I like Winston too.
Okay, so this is how it stands right now. Matt has 3 points, and Dylan and Taj have 1 point.
Yay.
So it's pretty obvious that Matt's winning right now, which is why, and yes, so the final round's pretty much is going to be pretty freaking easy, because even if one of these two wins, Matt's still going to, wins the final round, Matt is still going to win, which is why I'm throwing a curveball in here.
Whoa.
I'm going to be making the final round double points.
Wow, I'm a rogue player. No,
Swag.
So that we can go to speed round.
Matt wants to take Matt down.
All right. No, I don't want to make. I just want to make it more entertaining, and I threw a curveball at you guys because this question, I just like this question a lot. It's a very intense question, which is pitch a Thomas and Friends movie. Pitch the characters, the setting, and the plot. I'm gonna go with Matt. Matt, you go first, and I swear to God, if you pitch me the World War II movie, I might just flip out.
Well, the only similarity is that mine takes place on the mainland.
I know. I'm joking. I'm joking. Go ahead.
This movie is called Stuck on the Mainland. The characters are Thomas, Gordon, two characters that are new characters basically, Herman and Harry.
Because we don't already have enough of those.
It's the mainland. What are you gonna do, man?
Herman.
Pip, Emma, the Steam Team, Duck, and Oliver. The setting is, of course, on the mainland, and Gordon is taking the express as usual to the mainland when he gets trapped after the Vickerstown Bridge collapses. On the mainland, these two shunter diesel twins, Herman and Harry, in London, they basically just screw around with Gordon. I mean, they give him the time of his life. It's even worse than Bill and Ben could ever do. There is no sea to dump Gordon in, but if there was, they would actually dump him in the sea. And they torment him while he's stuck in England, and Gordon is desperately trying to get back to Sodor because, these diesels are just giving him a wild ride. But Gordon ends up having work to do on the mainland. They give him busy work. He pulls a train, actually, of freight cars while this diesel is actually broken down. And he crashes. He has an accident. And he is taken to the works where Herman and Harry are there, and they give him another whatever. And the Vickerstown Bridge ends up being fixed. And he's on his way back, but then he realizes that, he's starting to forget things since his accident. Things are starting to draw blanks. He's spacing in and out, basically. And once he returns to Sodor, things just start changing for him. He doesn't know what it is, but he's starting to develop some sort of sense of, I don't know, and he's starting to have some sort of amnesiac symptoms. He's just forgetting things, and he and Pip and Emma do the Express regularly, and Pip and Emma pick up on this as they go about their rounds, and they talk to Sir Tom Hatt, and Sir Tom Hatt sends him to the Little Western to try, get the salty sea air, the seaside to clear out his mind. But it just doesn't work, and he ends up having dreams of Herman and Harry just tormenting him. And it gets to the point where Gordon decides to go over to the mainland. His driver takes him there, and he gives Herman and Harry the time of their life, because guess who he brings with them? Bill and Ben.
Ooh.
Okay.
And Herman and Harry get their comeuppance.
Okay. Dylan, let's go with you.
Okay, well, mine's a little rough, but yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me here. Is that an idea similar to The Adventure Begins, but set in from Gordon and like Henry's perspective before they join the railway. So it'd star most likely Gordon, Henry, most likely Edward, and it probably see, I have these kind of vague ideas a little bit, but and there'd be new characters who would probably be other failed either prototypes of LNER engines or LMS engines, which really bad prototypes or really good ones. Maybe it's Gordon's rival or something. And it talks about how in the early days Henry was such a bad steamer, and it goes through a whole story arc about all the stolen plans and what the people had to go through to get them to build Henry, and it shows Gordon's early days of how he was criticized for being something. Wow, and how he was just not even appreciated enough by their class members because he was such I'm getting myself tied here, but eventually it all connects together where Gordon finds Henry at most likely London, where the two meet up, and Gordon is being bought by the Fat Controller at the time. He's still in his green livery and stuff, and Gordon offers the Fat Controller to buy Henry as well to try and save this fellow engine who he's made acquaintances with. And in some way, it goes through the events of Henry being bought and stuff, and how awful he was in his first days of steaming.
You said "and stuff" a lot.
And stuff.
Anyways,
and stuff.
Taj, you're next.
And stuff.
Well, my movie's a little bit different than the previous two, as it doesn't exactly follow up. It doesn't have it isn't a 3-act structure or something along those lines. It is actually what I call the dream movie. There have been a lot of things kind of similar to this in TV shows, but there's never been anything like this in the Thomas franchise. In this, we see in the middle of the night, Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, Toby, Duck, Donald, Douglas, Oliver, Emily, Bill and Ben, Salty, Diesel, Daisy, a few CGI characters, and Sir Topham Hatt, and what they dream about. And I thought it would be funny, it would be a good way to show their personalities and how they act. Some things that I came up with is maybe Bill and Ben Bill and Ben always just annoy each other even in their sleep. I thought that would be something funny, they always get into each other's dreams or something. Donald and Douglas, they actually dreamed the exact same thing. Maybe Gordon, he dreams about how he's the king of soda or something along those lines.
So are we just seeing characters' different dreams, or are the engines jumping into each other's dreams like that one SpongeBob episode?
Well, we see all of their dreams, but they're imagining what's happening in all of their dreams, except for two exceptions. Dowd and Douglas dream about the exact same thing, because they're pretty much both, they're kind of, they're put together. They're a package deal, even from when they first appeared in Hello Twins. And Bill and Ben, that's kind of like the SpongeBob episode, where they keep annoying each other in their dreams. And Sir Topham Hatt dreams about eating, because what else can Sir Topham Hatt dream about?
Cliche.
His engines and which ways to torture them even more.
Maybe Jaffa cakes.
Ridiculous specials.
All right. I made my decision just from that pitch. Gonna give it to Matt.
Oh.
Just because the rest of these movies, I'm sorry, Dylan, your pitch was kind of bad. It was you were trying to stumble through it, kind of.
Gosh,
And then Taj, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it sounds interesting. I don't know, man.
I understand.
I think Tosh, it'd work better if like Donald and Douglas engines had different nightmares, and you were taken through a world of what a nightmare is like for an engine. Like,
well, I was kind of going to do that. Like,
has like a dream.
You know what I think would make it better? If it actually happened.
Oh no!
Oh, that would be like that. I think that would be like a great twist ending.
Bum, bum, bum. Anyways, so yeah, Matt, you have won this installment of Thomas Battles. Good for you, man. So next week, you, Train King James, and Eric Pierre 53 are going to be taking each other on in the championship battle of Thomas Battles. And I just realized that 2 of the 3 people next week are going to be members of TWR Community Radio. I need to get different people on. I have Wooden Railway only booked for an appearance in 2 weeks. So after the championship battle. So let me know in the comments below if you have a Skype and if you want to be in the next episode the episode of Thomas Battles in 2 weeks. Well, with that said, I'm Mr. MV2002 saying thank you for watching this episode of Thomas Battles. Do you guys have anything to plug? Let's start with you, Dylan. Do you have anything to plug?
Wait, what am I supposed to do?
Just plug your
anything to add.
Yeah.
Watch my series. I need people to watch it. I'm such bad.
Okay. Matt.
Real life series.
Nothing other than I got a lot of customs coming up soon.
Okay. Taj.
Before I mention anything else, I want to remind you to subscribe to both Solar Railway 3D Films' channel and Hero the Japanese Train's channel.
See, I would say your channel name,
so
but it'd
much.
be way too long.
Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, why?
Yeah.
Why?
You can't even say.
You're watching these videos and
You can't even say your own name.
And by the way, just subscribe to that person that I don't recognize him. It's like something like TEHGJPTDDDO, something like that. Don't forget to subscribe to him. He's a pretty cool dude.
He's alright.
And,
Yeah, I've seen his videos.
And also,
videos.
and one last thing, don't forget to watch me and Matt's series. Well, Matt and me's series. Which is called Sudgering Tales on Mr. MPS 2002's channel.
It's on my channel, and he's helping me write it. So anyways, thank you all very much for watching. Subscribe and watch every other episode of Thomas Battles and every other video here on TWR Community Radio, because they're all pretty great. So, yeah, with that said, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next rotation, I guess, for the championship battle. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.